I too also have an eagle that will land on my arm. This is my eagle, Spencer. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Many generations after the reign of Caesar, a young ape named Noah goes on a journey to save his village that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices to define a future for both apes and humans alike, as a new tyrannical ape leader builds his new kingdom and must be stopped. This is a sequel, kind of follow-up film to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. I really did enjoy War for the Planet of the Apes and Dawn for the Planet of the Apes. I have a very surface level appreciation and joy for the Apes franchise, and I know there are a lot of people out there that absolutely love this. Bravo for them. Maybe except for the Tim Burton film with Mark Wahlberg.
Man, that sucks! What?
After seeing the trailer, like the teaser trailer last year, it didn't look very good. The CGI looked crappy. I just thought it's a tired story. We've seen kind of what we can get out of these films. At least I thought that at the time. Like, we've seen them. We've gotten enough. Do we really need more?
More? All right, stop it. Stop it right there.
Wes Ball, the director, came in and actually proved me wrong, which I love. I love when directors are giving us surprises or are really delivering on the promise, or at least giving us something new to watch when it comes to their film. And Wes Ball, who was the director of the Maze Runner franchise, which I really did enjoy the first Maze Runner film, you can tell that he sharpened his teeth while making those movies, because this film is such a huge leap forward in his career. By leaps and bounds is this movie so much better than anything he has done up until this point. Visually, this movie is stunning. It is so gorgeous to look at. The cinematography is amazing. The special effects, it looks like even better at times than like Avatar, and I thought this was such a really cool, awesome way that they showed the apes and like the power of the performances behind the movements. But to make them look like this and make it so realistic seeming is astonishing. The visual effects are amazing in this film. Also, the world building and the way that they turn like the skyscrapers and all these old buildings, and how they changed the inner cities to these forests and these gorgeous, beautiful green landscapes. And I just thought it was such a beautiful world building that Wes Ball and his team created for this film. The acting, the performances are awesome in this film, especially the actors who had to play the apes. If you think about it, it is so difficult to pull off a convincing performance as an ape, but you also have to have some like humanity and emotion behind you so you can be relatable to the audience. I thought the actors in this film did a magnificent job. Maybe not quite as good as Andy Serkis, but I mean, come on, it's Andy Serkis, for God's sakes. Like, what are you gonna do? Freya Allen, who plays like the one sort of main human part in this movie, is so good as well. Her emotional range is stunning, and her performance without having to say too much. Definitely one of the standouts of this film is Kevin Durand as the Proximus Caesar, as the great antagonist in this film. Creepy and menacing and intriguing all at once. I think this is a great physical performance by him, and a really menacing performance too.
You will die.
The action scenes were awesome and visceral and real, and the action scenes are great because they're not just like fun action scenes for the sake of it. They actually push the story forward. The action reflects the characters and the situation and the story and what's going on around them, and it helps propel the story forward without it being too obvious. And I think that is great directing, that is great performances, and it's also just some great stunt work. The other thing that this movie did very well was the writing. Very well thought out. Nothing is really by chance in this movie. most things come back into effect. They have a lot of callbacks. They have a lot of things that they have at the beginning of the film that come into play later. The payoff is awesome. The dialogue was great when it happened. The story and the world that it's told in is really well explored. And I think that comes from a very smartly penned script. It is super entertaining. It is a lot of fun. There are some really great dramatic moments as well to it. It is an emotionally driven film. There are some great character pieces at the center of it. There's some awesome set pieces in this film, some great action, and it's just an entertaining film. If you like the Apes franchise, this is a movie that you definitely should go check out, and I think you will enjoy it overall. Wes Ball and his team did a great job of executing this film and carrying this franchise forward in a different direction, but also while still, paying respect and honor and homage to the three Planet of the Apes films that came before it. However, let's talk about a couple of things with this movie that didn't quite work. And one of those things is a pretty basic and simple thing, but I feel like the themes that are explored in the Planet of the Apes films can only be explored so much. Like, the same sort of ideas and themes are explored in all of the movies, and it doesn't really change too much in this film either. Humans are bad, and we should see empathy in animals, and those are kind of the main sort of things throughout all of those movies, and they may vary a little bit here and there, but objectively, the ideas that are explored in the first Rise of the Planet of the Apes film compared to this movie in 2024, they're kind of in the same ballpark. There are no new ideas and themes that are kind of broken ground in this movie. And so this film does feel a little bit repetitive and feels a little bit exhausted in the way that it explores its themes and in just some of the ideas that are presented in it, or they were shown, in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or War for the Planet of the Apes. Those two movies might have explored those themes a bit better than this film.
You're basic.
And that also brings me to my next point. Because of that, this movie feels about 15 to 20 minutes too long. This movie could have definitely been chopped down to 2 hours. It happened about 4 or 5 times in this film where I was kind of scratching my head going, I don't know if that character, A, would have done that, B, should have done that, and C, it didn't really work for the film, so it was a little bit weak.
You're weak!
But those were really the only couple of things that I found wrong with this film. Otherwise, this was a great, entertaining, blockbuster sci-fi action thriller adventure film. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't know if it's necessarily the best Planet of the Apes film. Comment down below, what did you think of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? Did you love this new sequel entry into the franchise? What is your favorite Planet of the Apes film? Also, while you're down there, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. So overall, I had an awesome time with this film. It is definitely worth checking out in the theaters. This is one of those movies that, yes, go check out in theaters. It is so worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes an A-. Thank you so much for checking out Mr. Teach Film Preach. Come back and check out some other video reviews such as Abigail, The Fall Guy, and Monkey Man, which works well for this video. Stay focused, stay awesome, and as always, let's get taught.